Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to talk about some of the most powerful words in the entire English language. Now, they might be small, they might seem common, but trust me, they have the power to completely flip the meaning of a sentence. So let's jump right in.
I mean, it's a great question, right? How can a tiny word like the or must carry so much weight and change the entire vibe of what you're saying? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. We're talking about grammar's secret weapons.
Okay, just look at this. The difference is night and day. On the left, you've got a super simple, neutral statement. A boy gave me a book. You know, it happened. Cool. But on the right, whoa, it's a whole different story. Suddenly there's urgency, there's obligation. That boy must give me the book. We've gone from a simple observation to a direct, specific demand. That's the kind of power we're about to unlock. First step in our arsenal, modal verbs. Now, don't think of these as some dusty old grammar rules. Think of them as a toolkit for your verbs, specialized tools that let you add all kinds of precision and flavor to your actions.
So what is a modal verb officially? Well, it's a helping verb. It's like a sidekick. It can't really do the job on its own. It teams up with a main verb to express all these different shades of meaning. You know, the difference between doing something and being able to do it or having to do it.
And what I love about this is how it lays out our whole toolkit. Each modal has a very specific job, right? If you want to talk about ability, you grab the can tool. Need to give permission? You use may. Expressing a really strong obligation? Well, that's a job for must. It's all about picking the right tool for what you're trying to say. And here's where we see them in action. For ability, you've got Naruto, who can fight. For permission, a simple you may enter. You see that sky? Looks a little ominous, right? Well, that's possibility. It might rain. That homework isn't a suggestion, it's an obligation. You must complete it. And finally, some friendly advice, you should probably sleep early. See how they just fine-tune everything? All right, so we've powered up our verbs. Now it's time to zero in on our nouns. If modals add nuance to what's happening, our next tool, determiners, is kind of like a spotlight. It gives your nouns incredible precision and focus. You know, the name determiner pretty much says it all. Its job is to, well, determine which noun you're talking about. It's the word that answers the question, which one, or how many. It just gets rid of any guesswork for the person you're talking to. And whoa, it is a big family. We use these words all the time, probably without even thinking about it. You've got your basic articles like and the, all the way to possessives like my and your that show who owns something. They really are the unsung heroes of clarity. So let's take a look at the most common ones we use all the time. Articles. The difference here is absolutely crucial. If you say, I saw a dog, you're talking about any old dog. But the second you say the dog, boom, you just put a spotlight on it. We know exactly which dog you mean, the one you just told us about. Demonstratives are even more direct. You can literally think of these as pointing words. When you say this book, you're pointing to the one right here, close to you. And if you're talking about the pencils over there, you'd say those pencils. These words leave absolutely zero doubt about which specific thing you mean. It's just precision at its finest. Okay, so with all this new power comes a little bit of a warning. Even superheroes have a weakness, right? Well, for our new language superpowers, these common little mistakes can be like kryptonite. Let's figure out how to dodge them. First up, the double modal trap. Will and can are both modals, and the rule here is super simple. One modal at a time. That's it. You can't stack them. So to fix it, you just swap one out for a phrase that means the same thing, like be able to. So he will be able to go. Easy. Okay, this next one is super easy to get tripped up on, but it's crucial. After a modal verb, the main verb that comes after it always has to be in its original base form. No S, no ing, nothing, just the simple verb. She can sing. He must go. They should listen.
Ah, the classic versus and trap. We've all been there. Here's the secret. The rule isn't about the letter a word starts with, it's about the sound. The word university starts with a y sound, which is a consonant sound. That's why it's a university. But it's an hour because hour starts with a vowel sound. When in doubt, just trust your ears.
This one's all about making sure your words match up. See how these is plural for many things, but kind is singular, just one? They're kind of fighting each other. They don't agree. To fix it, you have to make them match. You either talk about one kind, this kind of book, or you talk about many kinds, these kinds of books.
Everything has to line up perfectly. All right, we've got the tools, we know the traps to avoid. Now for the fun part, putting it all together. How do we actually wield these words to make our communication clearer and stronger?
It's actually a pretty simple 3-step recipe for powerful sentences. First, pick your action, your main verb. Then, step 2, add your nuance. Pick the perfect modal to get the feeling just right. And finally, step 3, specify your target with a precise determiner. It's a formula that helps you build clear, powerful sentences every single time. So if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. Modals give your verbs flavor. Determiners give your nouns focus. You're not just adding words for the sake of it. You're taking your communication from black and white to full, living color.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? You now have the secret weapons. You've got the toolkit. You've got the instructions. So the only thing left to ask is, how are you going to use them to make your own words more powerful?